What's up, Wrestle Nation? Let's get into it. As you know, tomorrow is the annual NXT Halloween Havoc PLE. There are 6 matches on the card for tomorrow night. Let's get into them. We got one solo non-title match, and the other 5 are title matches. So let's get into that one solo match. We got Bouncy Boy, the 2 Bouncy Boys, Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Leon Slater, obviously being from TNA, teaming up to take on Mr. Iguana, who I freaking love, in La Parka. Now, for those of you who don't know, La Parka was a character first originated back in the WCW days. Obviously, this ain't the same guy playing La Parka, because that guy from, if I'm right, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but that guy actually passed away. And now that WWE owns AAA or co-owns AAA, using AAA guys on the WWE shows and WWE guys on the AAA shows, I think this is pretty cool. Obviously, I'm going to go with Javon Evans and Leon Slater had a 5-star match going at Bound for Glory, which obviously Leon was probably going to retain the North American. Obviously, Leon was probably going to retain the X Division title, but I mean, I'm a huge fan of Javon. He's probably one of my favorites in NXT right now. But anyways, I mean, La Parka, this new La Parka guy, he's freaking funny, always dancing around the ring. I'm a big fan of Mr. Iguana. He's pretty freaking cool. But I'm going to go with Javon Evans and Leon Slater to win this one. Next up, we get into the first of our 5 championship matches. We're going to start with the women's North American title. As y'all saw this past Tuesday on NXT, Soul isn't cleared to defend that title against Blake Monroe. Because of the injury she suffered last Friday in her match against the tag team, in her match for the women's tag team champions against Alexa Bliss, against my girl Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, who are your current women's tag team champions. Obviously, I think she was going to basically vacate the title, but Zarya is going to defend. But with that being said, I think Soul was going to probably lose here anyway, because from what I hear, it sounds like Soul, Zarya, and Jordan Grace, and Obi and Trick, them 5 are getting called up here to SmackDown and Raw respectively in the next few weeks. So I'm going to go with Blake Monroe to win this match. I just hope when they call Zarya up, they use her, because they haven't been using her. She was dominant on the Indies. Like, she was a huge star on the Indies, but like, just one thing, to bring her to WWE and they make her Soul sidekick, they could have made her a beast. But hopefully they'll change that and make her into something, because I think this could be, either that, I think this could be the start, Zarya loses, and this could be the start of a feud between Soul. Zarya finally turns back to a heel and has a feud with Soul. But I'm going to go with Blake Monroe to win this and become your new Women's North American Champion. Then we move on to the Men's North American Championship. Then we move into your 3rd championship match, which is going to be your men's, or not, no, we move into your 2nd, yeah, this will be your 2nd. So yeah, we're going to go with Blake Monroe to win the Women's North American Championship over Sol Ruca, or aka Zarya. And then the 2nd championship matchup, we're going to go with, in your 2nd championship matchup, which is your Men's North American Championship, you got All Ego Ethan Page defending against Dr. Wagner Jr. I'm not saying the rest of her name because I can't pronounce it the right way. So, in a Day of the Dead match, which I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's just like a no disqualification or a street fight match. Obviously, Dr. Wagner's Latin American Championship is not on the line here. This one's hard for me to pick, because I could see Dr. Wagner doing this and then putting a title on him instead of taking off Ego. You know, I could see that, because obviously, AAA is owned by WWE now. And you're seeing the guys go back and forth between AAA and WWE to AAA. You're seeing AAA guys come to Raw and SmackDown NXT. You're seeing Raw guys go down for the AAA PLE. So, but I'm going to go with, it doesn't hurt Dr. Wagner to lose here. I'm going to go with Ethan Page to win this match and retain his NXT his men. I'm going to go with All Ego Ethan Page to win this match and retain his NXT North American Championship. In our 3rd championship matchup, we got the NXT Tag Team Championships. which are currently held by the Hardy Boys, taking on the former champs of Dark State. Now, this is a broken rules match, which I'm assuming is just another street fight / no disqualification match. I'm going to go with the Hardy Boys to retain here, just because I just don't see the Hardy Boys losing to a team like Dark State. I really don't see it. Now, I know eventually with Kaylani being the women's NXT, the women's TNA champion, I see the Hardy Boys losing the NXT titles, but I think they'll lose them to a younger team. I don't think they'll lose them to Dark State. I think they'll lose them to somebody else. But I'm going to go with the Hardy Boys to retain the NXT Tag Team Championships over Dark State. Then we move on to what should be probably the last two matches of the night. We got for your NXT Women's Championship, we got your current champion, JC Jane, taking on the surprise of Tatum Paxley, who won a Royal Rumble last Tuesday and now gets a shot. Or like, not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before, I believe it was. So, obviously, this is an entertainment. I still think it'll be a good match. Tatum puts on pretty good match. I like Tatum. I freaking love Tatum Paxley. She reminds me of AJ Lee. She's got that crazy vibe going on, but she's so energetic, so high-spirited. She just makes you happy when you watch her. But, I mean, I would love to see Tatum win the title, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to go with JC Jane to retain here. I think one of the reasons why is because I think Izzy will probably finally turn on Tatum in this match, since last few weeks we've seen Lyra coming out to be with her on the card. She came out to celebrate with her when she won the Rumble. I could see a Lyra Tatum reunion as a tag team and Tatum getting called up, or Lyra coming back down to NXT for a while, but I'm going to go with JC Jane to retain here. I would be extremely happy if Tatum wins. But I'm also going to say, this is just a side prediction, that Izzy turns on Tatum, but going with JC Jane to retain the NXT North American title. I'm going with JC Jane to retain the NXT Women's Championship. And what should be the main event of the night? We got your current NXT Men's Champion Ricky Saints taking on the challenge of Whoop That Trick. Whoop That Trick. Trick Williams. As y'all know, Trick Williams at Bound for Glory lost the TNA title to Mike Santana. Obviously, I am going to go with Ricky Saints to win this match and retain his NXT championship. I don't think they'll take it off him this soon. And honestly, I think this is Trick's swan song in NXT, because I think after this, he's going up to the main card. But there you have it, guys. Enjoy the show. I'm going to shave tomorrow and probably try to mow my yard. Pick up some sticks and mow the yard. So I'll get to it sometime tomorrow night. But enjoy the show. Talk to you sometime next couple days with a review. All right, Wrestle Nation, I'm out.